Okay. Everybody hear me good? Yes. Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh. No. Well. Okay. Hold on. Jessica, how can I share it but still see y'all? Or can I not do that? Or Raquel, since Jessica can't talk.
You just picks on, when you share your screen, it just depicts on which screen you choose. I can't see your screen, so I don't really know. Can you share your screen and see right now?
Let's see. Share screen.
A lot of times I just can't see myself.
Okay, there we go. Let's start. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Okay, so tonight's call is called Don't Call It a Comeback. Jessica and I were talking, and about the same time, she goes, I think you need to lead a team call. And I was like, I was just about to text you and tell you I felt like I wanted to share some stuff with everybody that I have recently gone through and feel like a lot of people probably struggle with, but we just don't want to talk about it because we want to be like, oh, we're going all the time, constantly, 24/7. Yes, we're working the business because it's so easy. But sometimes that's not the case. So how can we be business owners to a very simple business? But when life gets crazy and hectic, how can we kind of take a step back from it, but not let the rest of the world know? And this happened for me in right before school started back. So a little bit about myself. My name's Rachele Miller, for those of you that may not know me, who may be new on the team. I've been a coach since October of 2015. I got married in December of 2015, and I just had a little boy 2 months ago in October. My journey as a coach, I hit Emerald pretty quickly, signed up my husband and my best friend, and then I was one of those that ended up hitting Ruby. I was right there about to hit Diamond, and then it didn't happen, but I had enough to hit Ruby, and then like the next week I hit Diamond in March. So that took me about 4 months to do. I was a teacher and a coach, and as of last week, I put in my resignation to be able to stay at home with my son. It was a big goal of mine. For those of you that have been on Team VIP while I've been here, that the last call I did, I talked about wanting to be a stay-at-home mom, and the reason I got into coaching was to be able to eventually do this one day. And it has, God's blessed our family for us to be able to do it, and we feel like now's the time to do that transition, but it wasn't easy. So once we found out we were pregnant, obviously the conversation started of me becoming a stay-at-home mom and wife. But that meant going down to one income. So what were we going to do with my Beachbody business to, offset that? And obviously I needed to start building it up. So my goal during the summer was to build as much momentum as I possibly could. Being a teacher, I had the time off. I for sure was having to go back in August. And the last month of school, everything was rocking and rolling fine. And the last month of school for me, I found out that they were going to take me out of my passion and what I went to school for as a teacher in PE and athletics. And they were going to put me back into a classroom to teach 6th grade world geography. Mind, the last history class I think I ever took was maybe my sophomore year of college. And I'm never one to down the education system, but it's just, that's one thing about it that really bums me out, is that we don't put teachers always in what their strong suit is. And it's sad to see, but we work our butts off still, no matter what they tell us to teach or do. We still work very, very, very hard, because we are educating the youth, and we don't want any dummies growing up. So, but I nonetheless wasn't very happy about that situation, because I loved my job that I was in as a PE teacher. So it became a real struggle. So I knew I had to push even harder over the summer. So I was a solid, hardcore diamond all the way through July. Went to our diamond retreat, went to Summit, and I had everything set up, lined up, ready to roll through August and September, get to October, have my baby, and, just be a beach body coach. Well, reality hit come August of having to go back to school and teach, and the going back into the classroom, having new duties. I was also coaching cross country. So here I am, 7, 8, 9 months pregnant. I'm waking up I'm not sleeping because I'm not pregnant, but waking up early, going to cross country practice. I actually was busing my kids from the high school. Wasn't supposed to be driving the bus probably, but was busing them from the high school to our middle school. They're about 10 minutes apart from each other. Bringing the bus back, then driving myself back to school, getting ready for my class in the morning, which a lot of the times I was getting there right on time, going throughout the whole day nonstop, and then staying at school until 6 o'clock at night, trying to get my classroom prepared and everything prepared for the next day, because I knew with having cross country in the morning that I was always kind of running late. So I wanted to make sure everything was ready and set to go. Also with coaching cross country, I was going on the weekends, traveling, Saturday mornings, getting up early, going with them. So not only the time length of my normal 9 to 5 job, 7 to 7 job, 6 to 7 job, whatever it was that day, it became a lot. And then on top of the fact that I wasn't happy being in the classroom, because I was teaching a subject that world geography is great. I think everybody needs to know where things are on a map and, why people live where they live, but it wasn't where my passion was. So struggling with that was really a toll mentally. And then, those of you that are teachers, I know we have quite a few on here, you sit in the lunchroom and you just hear everybody's negativity, and it doesn't help when you're already feeling negative about what you're doing. It just adds kind of to the fire. And so I just felt very, very stuck, very overwhelmed just with work. And add to that, being 7, 8 months pregnant, the stress started to get to me. And I started to have early premature or pre-labor symptoms. And my doctor was like, you have to start taking it easy. And I'm like, dude, I'm a teacher and a coach. Taking it easy is not in the vocabulary. And like, do you know my personality? It's constant go, 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 go. So it was hard. And I kept going because you don't have a choice. Teaching 6th graders and coaching, there's no slow down. Went back to another appointment with my doctor, and he was like, all right, that's it. You have you're staying at home for the next couple days. And I was like, okay, fine. So I took the time off, went back, but I was still having a lot of, it was a struggle through the day. I was having to start sitting down. And if any of you have a 6th grader or a child about that age, you know that sitting down with 6th graders is not, it's hard trying to keep them on task and whatnot. It became a lot. And I felt like I was almost starting to do a disservice to them, because I couldn't be more active and involved in the classroom. on top of the fact that it was just not where I wanted to be at the time. So I talked with my husband, and we went ahead and decided that I had enough days saved up that I would just take the time off. But throughout that 2 months that I was doing all of that, I reached out to Jessica, and I blatantly told her, I said, Jessica, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take a step back for a while. Things are just crazy. The end of the pregnancy is near, and going back to school, there's just a lot on my plate, I feel like, and I'm not being able to handle it all. And she was very understanding, and again, this is our business, so we can do as many hours as we want or not do as many hours as we want. We have to find that balance in what works for us. And for me, going in August and September, I needed to focus on doing my job at school, doing my job as a coach, and getting through my pregnancy. And so I put coaching kind of to the back as my, fourth priority. But my goal was to not let anybody know. And I did a pretty good job of that. And I don't know if Carla's on the call, but Carla caught me. So Carla, if you're on or if you're listening to the recording, Carla caught me because she called out Jessica and said, is everything okay with Rachele? And Jessica said, yeah, she's just got a lot going on. And Carla said, okay, because I just haven't seen her on the calls as much, and she's kind of not posting as much either. And I was like, oh, crap. Jessica told me, and I was like, okay, if Carla is seeing it, then someone else out there is seeing it. So I need to get back up. So that was like a little 1 week span there. And I was like, dang, if somebody already saw that in 1 week's time that I was backing off, then I need to get back on this and go a little more. So how did I do that? So my daily checklist turned into, I still did my workouts. Yes, I was 7, 8, 9 months pregnant, but Beachbody's awesome in the fact that they have so many workout programs that I was doing Beachbody on demand. There was Autumn's maternity workouts I was doing. I did some Tony Horton 10-minute trainer because some days it was like 10 minutes was all I could do. But I kept doing my workouts. I kept posting about doing my workouts because I knew my target audience that I was going for was people that were pregnant, or people that had just had kids, or people that I knew just got married and were probably about to start having kids. So I wanted to show them that, yes, I'm 7, 8, 9 months pregnant, but I'm still working out, and this is great for you and great for the baby, great for the delivery process. So I still did my workouts every day. Still drank Shakeology every day because, again, that was nutrients for me and my baby, and I marketed that product for my target audience. Professional development. Jessica will tell you I am the worst at professional development. And I am so proud of myself because in the last couple months when this all started, I really dug into professional development, and now I've set a goal for myself for next year to read 12 books. So one book a month. And I would never do that. And I know I made a post earlier or a couple days ago or yesterday about not being a reader and how becoming a Beachbody coach has changed me in that. But doing professional development, I dug into that because mentally I needed that in that time frame. Friend requests. So I know some people, will friend request 3 people a day. That's what I was normally doing, was friend requesting 3 people a day. I upped my friend requests. So I started friend requesting 5 or more people a day because I wanted to start adding to my audience and people seeing my stuff. Engaging with people, I started engaging again with more people than what I would normally do, because it's real easy to get caught up scrolling through Facebook and looking at everybody's stuff, but all it takes is a quick like or a quick, oh, hey, that's cute, where'd you get it from? Or for me, being pregnant, it was, talking to other people about their kids, their experience with labor and delivery, their experience with how breastfeeding was going. I was relating it to what was going on within my life. So I was creating that relationship with my target audience. Again, I still posted 3 times a day, except for that week that Carla caught me. And then I was like, darn it, she caught me. Someone else is probably seeing that. So I need to get back on that. So making sure that you're still posting 3 times a day. And then, like I said, running a list of prospects from your target market. So I made sure that everything that I was doing, I was starting to gear towards those people that wanted to be stay-at-home moms, wanted to, have a healthy and fit pregnancy, work on their post-baby body. But I started a list. So the 2 things, if you'll see, that aren't on what our normal daily checklist is I wasn't personally inviting and I wasn't following up with people. Now, if someone reached out to me, I would, reach back out to them, follow up with them and whatnot. I never just left them there. I definitely followed up, but I never sent out personal invites, and I never, personally followed up with somebody because I had invited them. If they reached out to me, I followed up with them. But those were the only 2 things that I didn't do in this time. But I kept a running list of potential people. So I have on my notes page on my phone, and I just would write their name. Like if I saw that they were pregnant, I'd write their name down. If I saw they had made a comment about wanting to be a stay-at-home mom, or they were worried about going back to work, I'd write their name down. And I just started creating this list. And so when I finally went on maternity leave and I started doing Beachbody, just solely Beachbody, I started reaching out to those people again. When I started doing my business again full time, I had days upon days of people that I could reach out to. And I wasn't sitting there looking for people to reach out to. I had already prospects that I wanted, and was able to, just roll with it more easily. And then the last thing is communication with your upline or your success partner. I cannot say enough, because being a coach and trying to help other people, you have to communicate with each other. Everybody has stuff going on in their life. We're all busy. We all work, or we all have kids, or we have families, we have friends we want to see. Things happen unexpectedly, financially. Life can get messy real quick. And it's important that you communicate that with people, because if not, then we're just going to kind of sit here and think, well, maybe they're just done. I don't know what's going on. And we'll constantly keep reaching out, but if you don't ever say anything back, then it's hard on us as a coach, so speaking to people that are like downline people, just make sure you're in constant communication, because I'm so thankful Jessica was there for me. I had tons of questions for her, not always Beachbody related. Sometimes it was pregnancy related. But just to be able to talk with her and let her know what was going on in my life, so that she could best help me and support me get through this rough patch. Because that's what we're here for. All on this call, we're here for each other. We all want to see each other be successful. And when we're having a hard time in life, like, we need to share that, because we are woman power here. And I know in times we've all been super supportive of one another. We're always encouraging each other. We're always lifting each other up. And who better to share that with? So just make sure that you're in constant communication with your upline and letting them know what's going on. If you need to take a break, but at least letting them know so they can best support you in whatever way you need. So again, I did everything except personally invite and follow up with people unless they reached out to me. But everything else you should still continue doing, because by doing those things, people aren't going to know that you're not really doing the business. And I still would make posts about challenge groups coming up. I'd still make invite challenge group posts, but I wouldn't send out like our personal messages. So I'd post about the challenge group coming up, but if somebody wanted in, I'd put them in and I'd set them up, but I wouldn't really send out individual messages to anybody. Okay, so attitude. So I want to go back to professional development and just talk a little bit more on that, because I feel like that is, again, I'm being honest, I'm one of the worst about professional development and worst about reading, but it really made the difference for me in those couple of months. And so our attitude is everything in those times. For me, trackers. When we did over the summer, there's a 90-day tracker. So if you haven't seen it, we did a 90-day push during the summer. And in doing that tracker, it helped me realize my mental game throughout a 90-day process. And every month, so the 30 days, I would always start to slack like day 21. And I always laugh because it's like, it's like 21 days. Maybe that's why they made it 21 days, because after 21 days, you're just like, whatever, you don't care anymore. But for me, that's what it was. It was like, man, I get to the same spot every month and I have like this mental breakdown, or just mental block where I'm just like, man, I just don't want to invite. And so I don't invite. And then it just kind of spirals from there for the next, 7 or 8 days. And then that gets me behind in my business. So if you haven't done a tracker like that, I highly recommend it, just so that you can track your mental game. Not so much that like, am I doing everything day to day, but you'll see where in the month you start to kind of get tired. And so that's then where for the next month, okay, this is normally where I start to break down. So I really need to like amp it up right here and push through to finish. In reading some of my books, there was a couple things that really hit home with me, and I wanted to talk about them. Next was feed your body, feed your mind. So all of us are, doing the 21-day fixed nutrition system. So we're all feeding our body. We're drinking Shakeology. That stuff is what's fueling our body, making us healthy from the inside out. Professional development is what feeds your mind. Not only does being healthy in general help our brain activity, but doing professional development is going to help your mind be stronger. And so, if you feed your body, you got to feed your mind. And so that just really hit home with me, because I was like, man, that's so true. Like we sit here, we're health and fitness coaches online, and we're constantly helping people, with the physical side and the mental. Don't get me wrong. We definitely help a lot of people. Drinking Shakeology, I know, has done wonders for many people with, mental side of things. But professional development really helps feed our mind positivity. The next thing was environment. I was reading, we got at the Diamond Retreat over the summer, we got the book, I always just call it Think Big, but anyways, and I was reading in it this week, and it talked about environment. And for me, reflecting on that, it really opened my eyes that my environment in those 2 months was really negative. I was around some negative teachers. I was around some negative coaches. I was around negative students. I was around some negative friends, and it made me negative. And so we got to look at our environment that we're in. If you're stuck, if you're in a rut, or if it's, if life is getting crazy for you, look at your environment, see what's going on around you, and see what you can maybe change to help, make it more positive. Maybe it's, start hanging out with other people. Maybe it is time to make a switch in your job. If everybody's sitting there constantly bitching at your job, that can't be any fun to work in. So, it wasn't for me. And that's why I'm thankful that we have these Sunday calls, because I get to jump on, and it's just like I said, we're all here uplifting each other, and it's just the best feeling in the world. And it gets our whole week going great after this. But as much as we want to have this, extreme positive environment, we got to make sure that we keep it diverse. And that was something I didn't think about either, because as much as I would just love to sit here and be Team VIP all day, every day, because we are the most positive group of people I have ever met, but we can't always just be Beachbody. We've got to branch out, and we've got to find other groups that we can connect with, because it makes us stronger. We've got to talk with people that don't agree with us. We have to find groups that, see or naysay about us, so that we can, show them our passion, show them our drive, have that tough conversation with them, to open their eyes to what is here with Team Beachbody. So, like I said, keeping a positive environment, but making sure that you're mixing it up. Don't always hang out with the same people. Find some different groups. Find some diversity. Find some tough people to be around, because it's going to push you and make you better as a person. Next one is quality over quantity. So again, during that time that I took my break, I was thinking more quality over quantity. So it wasn't so much, and I'm speaking in with my posts, I was trying to make sure that all of my posts were really good quality posts. I wasn't just throwing stuff up to just throw it up and say it was a post for the day. I was trying to really start gearing my business towards my target market. So for those of you that are wanting this to eventually be your stay-at-home mom job or your full-time job, think about who your target audience is and start gearing your post towards them. And then it's okay. It is okay to take breaks. It is okay to take a break from being a Beachbody coach, because this is our business. We get to set our hours. That's the beauty of this. That's why I love this job. I got to, for those of you that were on earlier, I got to spend all day with my family, baptizing my son, and just having a reception afterwards to spend with family and friends that came out to support us. And I was not doing work whatsoever, other than my 2 posts that maybe you saw about it being his 2-month-old birthday and about him being baptized. But I didn't have to do work today and until right now. And to me, it's great. It's great. But again, we have to know that that's okay. Because I know sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, this business is so easy. Why don't we just do it? Just get it done, get it over with. And yeah, you can, but sometimes life is too much. Sometimes there are major events that happen, and you've got to know that it's okay to take a step back, but do it with some purpose behind it. Don't just back off. Have a plan in place so that nobody knows you are backing off. Okay. And believe this is my last slide. So 2017, it's your year to shine bright. This is our last Team VIP call, and I'm so excited that I got to lead it. Thanks. So going in, whatever happened in 2016 happened. It's done with. We're at in our businesses. You may be a brand new coach, you may be an emerald, you may be a diamond, you may be in between somewhere, you may be pushing for something. but 2017 is a completely brand new year. So what are your goals? What are you going to do in 2017 to make it the best year yet? So I put the homework assignment was to create and send your 2017 vision board to your coach by the end of this week, because I think vision boards are just absolutely key. And it goes along with that communication piece that I talked about with your coach, so that when, you know, something happens maybe in 2017 with you that you've got to take a break from the coaching business, that your coach knows, okay, but this is your end goal. So take this time, gear your stuff, you know, make a plan, gear your stuff towards this end goal that you told me you had for 2017. And I'll share, I put 4 of mine up. The top one is Proverbs 31 woman. I've been looking into that a lot. And for those of you that maybe don't know, my family, we've been through a crazy year. Like I said, we got married, had a baby, and now my husband is about to go into the Navy. He just signed his paperwork, and so we are actually going to be moving most likely to Florida in June. So we've just been having like crazy transitions all year long, and they're going to continue for 2017. But for me, I was looking into a Proverbs 31 woman, and I just feel like that's where my life, that's where I want to go as a wife, as a mother, for what my family is about to endure. The other thing is to become a 2-star diamond coach. I want to be a 2-star diamond coach by the end of 2017. Income. I want my income to increase. Like I said, we just dropped down to 1 income. It hasn't quite hit me yet that in January I won't be getting a paycheck from my school. But I'm not even trying, I'm trying not to think about it, because I'm like, no, Beachbody's my business and I'm going to make it up with my Beachbody business. So I'm not even worried about it, because I'm going to push. But I would like to, by the end of the year, be making as much as what I made as a teacher. And I know it's completely possible. And then the bottom one, I'm really hoping that my husband and I, even though we are going to be kind of traveling this first year, one of our goals was to be able to kind of build a little small barn dominium on a piece of property that I'll be hopefully inheriting from family, and at least have a home still here in Texas, that when he's not deployed, or when he is deployed and I come home, that we still have a home that we can come home to, instead of crashing at parents or friends or whatever. We wanted still to have like a home base. So my goal is to be able for us to build this and not and pay for it with cash, not have to do a construction loan or anything like that. So those are my goals, but go ahead and make sure that you get your goals into your coaches by the end of the year, or by the end of the week. But nonetheless, that's the end. I went a few minutes over, so if anybody has any questions or comments, concerns, please feel free to share.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes.
You did so good.
Thanks.
Fabulous job. So thank you so much for doing that call. Yes, when I talk, Rachele and I have been talking, of course, for her entire year of her coaching business, and literally it's been from every different angle. She started the business and was hot and heavy. Like, the girl came in on fire, and she had a ton of goals super, super quick. And then when she started like getting super overwhelmed and was at the end of her pregnancy, you could tell she kind of had this like guilt about not doing what she thought she needed to be doing. But at the same time, like, she had to make some sacrifices for a short period of time to get what she needed to do done. And just like she said on the call, that's totally okay. But don't just fade out shady style. Tell somebody, because that's what will prevent you from like shading out completely and just fading into the abyss. And then you kind of feel like, okay, it's too hard to come back, so I'm just going to let the business fizzle out. Because like Rachele, and when Rachele and I had the conversation, I told her, I said, you can, slow down and totally back off. I said, but remember, you want a business to be able to come back to. So on the front side, like she was saying, you're posting, you're working out, you're still taking care of yourself, but you're still able to back off, because she had already put in 8 months of work. She had already put in, actually almost 9 or 10 at that time. Like, you've put in all this time and effort. You've already developed all these skills. You've done all this. You don't want it to just go to the wayside, because if you just fade out and then you try to come back later, then people don't trust you. You've broken that trust because people don't know what you're doing, because you're here and you're there and you're all over the place. And when people are entering something as in, they want to become a coach and start a business, they're looking for somebody who is strong and confident and who they know is going to take care of them. So you've got to represent that. If they're looking to change their life, lose weight, get healthy, get fit, they need somebody who's going to help them through that journey. And they're not going to go with somebody who they don't trust or they feel like it's going to flake out on them. So just remember, you have that opportunity to surge in your business, to back off in your business. But on your storefront, you want to make sure that people always know you're present. But I think that Rachelle's done a really good job of that. And after she had Michael, she got back in her crazy mode and it's like, okay, it's time to go again. She literally was like, okay, this is what's happening. And she's almost back to diamond in no time flat. Like, she just hit the ground running again. And that's exactly what you should do. You take the time when you need to take it, and then you surge when you can surge, and build the business according to your life. So I thought you did an awesome job. So good.
And I will say, I'm going to kind of call out two of my coaches here, because two of my coaches that are on this call, I actually got while I was on my break. So,
and I'm so excited for them.
Yes.
Courtney, who has the craziest results that you've ever seen in your whole life.
Yes.
And then Ashley, who's brand spanking new, and she's going to be an Emerald this Thursday, and she just became a coach 4 seconds ago. So big props to this girl too.
Yeah, she's not even in boot camp, or she starts boot camp tomorrow, and she's already in Emerald.
Oh, good reminder. So we do have boot camp starting over tomorrow. So it's 5 days of boot camp, 5 days of tracker accountability. So even if you need to go through it again yourself, definitely do that. I'm going to post it after the call so you can join it. If you have a new coach who needs to go through it, Chelsea, you'll be in it. Get excited. Yeah. And then also remember, okay, I know that this week is so busy with Christmas, but here's what I will tell you. You need to be inviting to your January challenge groups now. We have a challenge group that we're going to be starting day 1 on the 26th, just because I've heard from some coaches, and Laura put a post about it, that we've got some stragglers that want to hit the ground running the day after Christmas. And so if they've already purchased their challenge pack, or if they purchase by tomorrow, definitely look on VIP. We'll put the details. We're going to throw them into a Facebook group. We'll kind of have combo coaches. It'll just be a super fun group, kind of a mesh of people, mesh of challengers, until we officially hit January. However, you need to be posting, inviting, and talking to people this week about the new year, because you're only going to have a couple of days to get them to sign up in order for them to get their challenge pack for the January 2nd group or January 9th group. January 2nd group starts preseason on the 26th, so they'll need to have ordered no later than Christmas Day, which we all know nobody's going to be talking to you Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, nor should you be working. You need to be taking vacay. So make sure that you are hitting the ground running and you know who's going to be in that group before you get to the 23rd, which is Friday. For Beachbody to get your package to you on time for the January 9th group, which is also Health Bet, you have to order no later than the 29th of December. So everybody that's going to do Health Bet has to be ordered by the 29th of December in order for them to say that they will ship the packages, get it to you on time. So if you need more information on Health Bet, we can chat about that later. I won't take that time now, but just know you should be inviting hard, crazy core this week, and then following up like a crazy mad woman 26th through the 29th. Hopefully that makes sense. We'll have the January calendar up this week so that it's up. Boot camp starts tomorrow. Anything that I'm missing, Raquel?
Nope, I think you got it all.
Good. Okay, well, this call is recorded, so I will save it for any of your team members that weren't on it. I'm so excited for this week. Hustle, 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 hustle. Get excited for the holidays. Just get a little shopping, little invite. Little shopping, little invite. That's all. Okay, see you guys on the World Wide Web.